Hi, my name is Sivaranjani, and I recently graduated from University of Hertfordshire. So, for my final project, I wanted to explore model view controller. The reason why I chose model view controller is because many companies like Netflix and Uber, they started with model view design pattern, but after some time they migrated to microservices. So I want to know why they migrated and what is their pros and cons of the MVC application. So with the help of my final year project, I explored model view controller and I found promising results. Yeah, so as I said earlier, a model view controller has been it's known as the old traditional model. So it has 4 layers and everything, but recently it's been declining, and it's mainly because of microservices. So I just wanted to explore model view controller and to check whether it still can be used for present and future web application. Like, is it still inactive, or is still some companies are using that? So if they are using that, I want to know why they are using. Is it very useful? And yeah, I wanted to explore that. So after selecting model view controller, I framed 3 questions, such questions. The first one was to check model view controller's complexity, its speed request, and how long, like the elapsed time, and is it easy to maintain? And that was my first research question. Second will be like, for my project, I wanted to compare model view controller with some other architecture. So I wanted to select a perfect architecture that is like very competitive to model view controller. So I wanted to select a perfect architecture, and I selected microservices. So that is my second research question. And the third was to find the model view controller, like, is it still applicable for future web application, or is it still in use? So that was my 3 research questions. So I wanted to check the MVC and non-MVC application with the same web application idea. So I wanted to see which web application will have more operations and methods. So I came up with student management system. As you know, there will be lots of students, and you can have many fields that you can provide for the project. And there will be like many methods like creating a student, updating, deleting, and getting a student record. So yeah, I came up with student management application, and I developed with like both the same web application idea for both the architecture to check their speed and accuracy. So what I did is, after developing the application, I used a testing tool called JMeter, which helped me to provide lots of options. So what I did first is I wanted to send a request to each application, and after sending the request, I wanted to record the start and end time of the request. So with that, the timings, I was able to record the performance, and I was able to show the results in graph and everything. That made me like to choose which architecture is best. So yeah, that's how I did it. So mainly I used YouTube, and the YouTube channel was like Java Guides and Java Brains. That was very useful for especially those who are looking to develop their application in Spring framework. That would be very useful. And if you're gonna go for websites, there was like Java T Point, Java Guides, Geek for Geeks, that W3 schools, etc. That helped me a very lot. So when I framed the questions, I decided like, for each phase of the project, I have to jot down all the things I have done for each phases, especially for each web application I'm developing. I wanted to jot down the points like what I did, how long it took for me to develop the application, and how many lines of code were used for each web application. So after noting down each points, I was able to derive the results from that points, and also I referred lots of research papers. So after, like, I was doing in parallel, I was jotting down the lines, and I was looking for the research papers as well. So after I derived my results from the application, I compared with the research papers, and it sort of matched, and that's why, like, I came to know, like, I'm in the right path, and yeah, that's how I developed. So in order to get the answer for my research question, I framed 4 comparisons. So the first will be like sending each single request to each web application. As I said, creating a student record, getting a student record, updating and deleting a student record. So for each like MVC architecture, non-MVC architecture, I gave a request, and with the help of the JMeter tool, I recorded the performance. That was the first scenario. Second scenario will be I developed login and registration for both the web application, and I noted down the performance. And the third will be like sending 100 requests at the same time, 100 user requests at the same time for getting the student record. And the fourth one will be 100 requests for creating the student record. So with this all 4 comparisons, I came to know which architecture showed drastic increase in the performance and everything. So after deriving the results from each scenario, it was very evident that model view controller can still be used, but it is perfect for small web applications. So those who are trying to do like a very mini, like with like small crude application, they can go for model view controller. But those who are like gonna do for large organization, large project, then it is useful that you have to select microservices, because it showed promising results in handling 100 requests for both creating and getting the student records. So many companies, because of not choosing a perfect architecture, they faced many loss and loss in terms of money, time, and everything. So this will eventually lead to loss of many jobs, and that will evidently affect the society. So it is very important to select a perfect architecture. You have to know to its fullest capacity, its complexity and everything. So you can provide a good architecture for your company, and it will help many employees to work on the architecture with no difficulties, and they will be able to sort out all the problems. So it's better to choose good architecture. It will be very useful for the software architect in the organization.